Alright, Rap Mythology, the Reincarnation of Ramakrishna, a Hayoka Empath, bringing that brand new flavor in your ear. So I want to talk about some of the music that I listen to now. Music has been a big part of my life, you know what I'm saying? I've just always been around it, grew up. So let me tell you, at first year, 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my house. I had a big ass house on Hamilton Avenue in New Rochelle and shit. My uncle's a DJ. You know what I'm saying? So it was always rap and whatnot, that old school shit playing, blasting in the house. We used to have big ass house parties with all my family from like England and Jamaica, you know what I'm saying, would come through and whatnot, and we just have these huge ass parties at that house, man, you know what I'm saying? Reggae, you know what I'm saying, playing or whatever. You know, he wouldn't really DJ. Sometimes he would DJ those parties, but you know what I'm saying? We had the reggae playing or whatever, but so my house was like a kind of a pretty cool hangout, you know what I'm saying? My house has always been the hangouts where I live and shit. So you know, my uncle being a DJ, he was nice, you know what I'm saying? So Brand Nubian used to come through. He did some work on one of their albums, some scratching or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Grand Poobah used to be there. I don't remember seeing Lord Jamar. I saw Alamo and Grand Poobah a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then and they family, like their cousins and whatnot, Troy, you know what I'm saying? My uncle be rolling with their cousins and family and shit. You know what I'm saying? And DMX used to come through. I never saw him come through, but I seen pictures of him like in the crib and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? DMX came through a lot. You know what I mean? So then my father played the trombone. He played the trombone. He was into he played in a gig. Played in gigs and whatnot, and like reggae bands on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? He would bring me to some of the gigs and stuff like that. He played in the church band, the church that I was in. He played in that band. So I watched him. I used to go to practices with him when he would practice for church and whatnot. So I'm always around music and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So now I listen to all types of music, but you know, mostly the stuff that I kind of grew up on in my culture. But the most prevalent albums I would say that really impacted me in my life was the Wu-Tang Reunited double CD. Like me and my uncle used to ride out to that, and like we would bop our heads so hard, and my uncle would be spitting like every line to me and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I just remember like him coming around and shit and listening to that shit. That album was like the fucking ultimate to us and shit. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea what these niggas was talking about whatsoever at the time. No idea. You know what I'm saying? But now as an adult, it's just like wow. And that's what I like. That's what I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that album had a real big impact on me subconsciously. Now the other album is Tupac and the Outlaws, Still I Rise. You know what I'm saying? This album had a great impact on my life when I was in college, and this is when I started to change. I started awakening. It was a slow process, but that was like the initial phase of my awakening was listening to that album. You know what I'm saying? And I started hearing Tupac talk about reincarnation and karma. You know what I'm saying? Black Jesus. You know what I mean? And, you know, these things are really like impacted me subconsciously, like deeply. You know what I'm saying? And that album, I was so moved by that album. I got this tattoo on my arm, Still I Rise 2000. You know what I mean? And I ended up making Tupac one of my guys. You know, I established this connection with him through this tattoo. I tell the story. I got a video on YouTube, the teachings of Tupac and Sarada Devi, Illuminati Decoded. You know what I'm saying? So you could go put that in the search engine and it'll come up. Alright, we're going to leave that one there. Rap Mythology, the Reincarnation of Ramakrishna. Bringing that brand new flavor in your ear. Peace.